Welcome back. This is Seal Chan, and this is my Minecraft Alpha 1.0 progressive long play. Today we're going to review what we did in round 12 and look ahead at round 13. Alright, let's go. Well, one of the things we did in round 12 was we built this kitchen. And I have to say, I really like how it turned out. Feels like a kitchen. In fact, let's do something. There. Probably will never craft mushroom stew in this game because the mushrooms are too rare and precious for me to feel like collecting them, and I'll probably never find a stack worth, so it's not worth trying. But we can save that for later versions of the game, which I'll be playing once I'm done with this. Alright. In the next round, round 13, we'll build this living room. And it should have plenty of windows. Alright. As part of the home base, I'm going to be doing a couple of other things. Obviously, we'll continue to try to collect a stack of seeds. I've decided that I don't like this kind of fountain-y version of the well, so I'm going to take those stone blocks out and just level this off. Another thing that I did is that I collected a stack of sand from the sand quarry, which is here. I've begun the process of, or will begin the process of filling in this last layer of sand with grass before we turn this into a lake, which is something we're going to work on around 13. I have to figure out what the level of the lake is. I think we're going to go all the way up here, so that'll be interesting. Nice body of water, a little bit of protection. And last but not least, we have a saddle. And the only thing you can do with a saddle is to stick it on a pig. So, one episode, I'm going to go find a pig, take my saddle, and we'll see what happens. I'm consulting my list. I guess let's head over to the port next. Well, I built this trail. It goes out to the port. Little bridge here. I built that landing, the welcome sign. And I built the trail up to here, where we're going to have our 4-tree grove and laid the foundation for the lighthouse. The next round I'm going to build protective barriers around this area, leave room for some crops, extend it all the way down there so that when we arrive in port, it'll be a safe place to land. Alrighty, on the way to the cavern, let's stop by the repositioned hunting blind. We moved this so that we could build our port in the ideal location. It's not hard to do. And this is still a good spot. We're going to add a trail to it back to, it's probably over here. It looks like the closest place. Just need to figure out how to get around or past this. I mean, who knows, maybe it'll be easier just to go that way. I will figure that out. Alright, let's head to the cavern. All we really did in round 12 in the cavern was to go on our standard cavern expedition. Let's see here. We have our well. Of course, we're going to continue our cavern expedition, but we're going to head back down to that lava lake that we found, finally. We're going to dig out and we're going to set up a deep mine cavern complex, starting with the cavern workshop. So we'll have a new base of operations. And as you know, if you've been watching my earlier series, a deep mine is a place at diamond level, typically around a lava lake, which in this case I'm assuming is approximately y = 12. We don't have coordinates available in Alpha 1.0, so that's an educated guess. Anyway, I'm going to build it around there and we're going to strip mine, looking for diamond, and of course, all the other stuff. So that'll be fun. Hopefully we can up our iron production, because we just keep ahead of our need at this point. And the other thing we'll do is we're going to start what I call, and I haven't actually done officially before, called Shallow Cavern Expedition. And what that is we just start exploring the other cavern entrances. Now, in Elsie, we have a rich abundance of cavern entrances that we have not explored. It's unlikely that they represent a new cavern, since we're sitting on top of an already very extensive cavern. Oh, hold on. Dodging. Oh, somehow I shook him. That was a creeper. Alright, I was stuck in here for a minute. Okay. I like to listen to the music, so I took a pause. Anyway, so using Cavern 1 as a base of operation. Spider. Using Cavern 1 as a base of operation. Ooh. I'm going to be exploring the abundant additional cavern entrances and back in Elsie there. And what I told myself is that we would go mining there, but only down to a certain level, roughly to where gold is. So if I see that the cavern actually goes so far as to reach down to gold level, I'll stop and not go any further. Chances are, if it's going to go that deep, it actually will connect back to the main cavern. So, and that's fine. Oh, he shot me. I can actually hit him. Danger. Danger. Can't hit him there. Oh, he got me. Oh, he really got me. Alright, let's eat some of this. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Good to have our cooked pork chop. Okay. So, like I say, I'll start exploring these caverns down to a certain level. That should do is light up the underground, which should in turn increase the spawn rates on the surface and in the dark areas that I've intentionally left. So, since we're here, round 12, as part of the Elsie Bellevue Trail Enhancement Project, I built this wildlife viewing platform. I like it. I don't know if it's a practical hunting platform or not, but it's an experiment. I thought of it more as a place where I could stay all night and watch the stars and the moon pass overhead. The next round, although it's not technically on the trail, I'm going to be working on the lake by the house. So we'll come back to further development on this trail in future rounds. I should add that as part of our cavern expedition, and caverns everywhere, we are in fact trying to gather a full stack of gold ore. It certainly will take a while. In round 12, we completed the Hobbit Trail. And it is a very convenient and protective lit corridor into Bellevue on the Elsie Bellevue Trail. In round 13, I'm going to do something with this space. I've called it the grotto. So I'm probably going to have a spring come out here, probably a pool, and not sure what else, just a very small decorative space. A little trailside watering hole, perhaps, or just a little work of art. Alrighty. Here's our fort. I think it's time we go ahead and convert this fort into a full hunting blind. I'll put the chest in the ground here in the center. And we'll just take everything but the mob drops. Probably take them over to the port. So that'll be kind of our base of operations here. So we have the Bellevue Mountains Trail, which we completed. The next step is we're going to walk along this trail, and we're going to seek inspiration for little park builds, viewpoints, other things, just like we are with the other trails. Maybe we'll add some creeks and falls, lakes. Who knows? We'll just take a walk and see what's inspired. Over at the port, we built this barrier. So that the port is a fairly safe place. Next, we're going to build a wheat crop. Well, seeds. Seed farm. Still trying to figure out how that works best in Alpha 1.0. Get enough seeds so we can plant out a crop. Maybe we'll fence it off. And hopefully mobs won't spawn on top of farmland. Those crops will be free to grow into wheat. Alright, let's take a walk. All the way back to Elsie. I was just thinking how a lot of my builds, I try to take inspiration from the land. And besides just loving the shape of landscapes in real life or in Minecraft, I find that the more I take inspiration from the landscape, and the more I use self-limiting rules to determine where and when I can make those landscape-inspired builds, the more the landscape itself becomes part of the progression and the fun of the game. Because if I set my self-limiting rules just right, and I say no to this and no to that, to things that I want, eventually and inevitably, I will get to say yes. And when I do, it'll be all the more rewarding. Alright, to connect Cascadia to Elsie, we built the Elsie Cascadia Trail. Now, we won't be doing anything right away, but because I'm already doing a trail survey on the Bellevue Mountains Trail, we will, in a future round, but not the next round, come back and do a trail survey on this trail to see what, if any, little enhancements we want to build along this path. really, as part of the Cascadia port system, built a landing in round 12. Hook that up to here. Technically, I should probably do a trail survey here as well. Let me write down just to add that to my list. But in round 13, we are not going to do anything else. And that's partly because I've got ports being developed in multiple places, and one of my progression rules is to try not to do too much of the same kinds of builds in the same round, so that variety is preserved. And since I have these ports progressing side by side, I'm going to stagger them out so that one goes first, and each of the others in turn can follow along the progression. It's a little bit scrambled because I kind of just came up with this as I was playing, but in any case, you'll see me build out each port equally with all the same features. Plus, we'll use those ports to launch on ocean adventures. Now let's see if we can make our way to District D here in the mountains. I have a feeling that whatever I named this district is going to become the name of the mountains, because they do need a name. Need to get up there. So in it, if I hadn't already said it, we won't really be doing any work in Cascadia in round 13. Up the hill. Okay. Well, as you know, in District D, or Region D, I might end up just calling them districts from beginning to end. We walked all these mountains. And we looked. We found a handful of cavern entrances. And we got the lay of the land. Got to look all around what may or may not actually be a large island continent that we're on. Many great views. In round 13, we're gonna check those caverns out on what I like to call the cavern qualifying expedition. So we'll see if we can find a cavern. The bottom of the cloud is offset, as is the top of the cloud. Just high enough for my head to be stuck in it. So yeah, we'll go and see if we have ourselves a new separate cavern system in this district. If we do, and we get to develop this area more extensively, then we will, where there is no separate cavern system, such as in Bellevue or in Cascadia. Both of those places still have some level of development. Safe ports of harbor, although this particular area would not have any connection to water. So we'll see. We'll see if this will become our mountain mining camp, or maybe just a lonely hunting blind in the wilderness. Still, I can't imagine not building a trail system through here, so we'll certainly have plenty of adventure right in here. Okay, well, last but not least, of course, we are going to continue our search for a stack of eggs. I think we actually reached the halfway point, so it's definitely doable. Whenever we happen to be around chickens, we just need to keep our eyes and ears open, and eventually we'll achieve that goal. And of course, as always, at the end of each round, I will be doing research as well as planning for the next round. So I continue to be excited about this adventure. I have given some thought about how long it will last. I want these adventures to have an end after I feel like I've completed a little of everything there is to do. At least, of everything there is to do that I want to do. Will we make it to a 200th episode? I think we might. But honestly, I'm hoping that there won't be a 300 episode, as I do want this series to tie off. I've looked ahead at the sorts of things that I want to do, and it's a finite list. And I think we've made a lot of progress. Of course, there's always the desire to explore the next territory. But that too, I'll have to let go at some point. Because after all, when we stop this game, we'll simply be moving on to another one. So, it doesn't ever really end. Anyway, as always, I try to remember to take this opportunity to thank you, my viewers, who watch my series. Whether you play it in the background, giving it very small attention, or whether you actually watch it with focus. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the fact that you leave me comments. I am very self-motivated, but it is also very exciting to see that other people, even if it's one or two people, are interested followers. So if you think you may be one of those, please subscribe. I have a Discord channel if you want to talk about these series, advertise your series, because people who watch my channel, I try to pay them back the sincere compliment of watching theirs. I'm pretty slow at it, but I'm persistent. So, probably an easy way to get a slow but loyal viewer to your own channel. So, consider that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care. Oh, let's get a pic.